What's up, guys? It's Eli Fishman from Talking Ball Interviews on YouTube, back with another interview. And today I'm very glad to be joined by Milwaukee Brewers prospect Zack Brown. Zack, thank you so much for coming on today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it.
How you doing during this time? What's your situation baseball-wise?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just back in Indiana with the family. Me and my dad, we built a mound, so I'm getting some work in that way. Bought a net, and then we made a plyo wall too. So I'm able to get a lot of work in throwing wise, and then just getting creative around the house, weightlifting wise, just trying to stay strong as possible.
What was your process of getting out of Arizona? I know you were with the big league camp, so, did you fly out? Did you drive? What was the situation?
Yeah, so I ended up driving out a little bit later than everyone else. We had our Airbnb through April 5th, which would have been probably around the camp break date for the minor league teams. And me and a couple other guys, we just kind of stayed out there just in case the facility were to open back up a little quicker. That didn't look likely, so we bounced April 5th, and I made that 27-hour drive back home.
You were doing pretty well with the big league camp. You were a non-roster invitee. So does that sting a little bit more, this season, getting thrown out for at least this part? Hopefully not for the whole season.
I think it did a little bit, just because I felt like I had thrown so well, and I made some good strides with what they wanted to see and what I wanted to bounce back from last year. And it just definitely came as a big surprise to myself and everyone else too. But it definitely stung a little bit, but I still think I'm in a pretty good situation.
In 2018, you had an incredible season with Double-A, 9-1, 2.4 ERA. Specifically that season, what led you to, turn it on and have such a big year?
Yeah, it all started we opened up in Montgomery, and we obviously in that league we had the 5-game series, and I think I threw game 2, and Luis Ortiz opened up. He gave up like 1 run in 6. I gave up like 2 or 3 and 5, I think it was. And the other 3 starters didn't give up a run. And I looked at him, I was like, dude, we got to pick it up like right out of the gate. And I think the next 2 starts, they 1 or 2 runs, maybe 3. And then I put up, I think it was 7 shutout innings at Montgomery. And that just kind of, whatever I did and felt that day, it just kind of propelled me through the rest of the year. And it was crazy, like just, when you're hot, and it just kept going, and the zeros kept flowing.
What's your repertoire and, what's your pitching philosophy?
Yeah, so I got a 4-seam, sinker, changeup, and slider now. It was more of like a power curve, like a slurve pitch with the older balls. And then with the lower seams, it's kind of morphed into a little bit of a slider and just manipulate that spin. But my philosophy is definitely just attack anyway, whether it obviously read the hitter up and down, side to side, just try to make everything look the same for as long as possible.
Now, you mentioned those big league balls or the AAA balls, which you had trouble with last year. Was that a bit of, you could say like a culture shock for you going up to AAA, where you're facing basically big league hitters every single hitter? Not basically, you're facing big league hitters every single hitter. And then you have the home run balls with no seams. So was that a little bit of a shock for you?
I think the biggest shock was just my best pitch has always been the breaking ball, and I just could not figure it out all season long. No matter what I did, I just didn't know where to go. I kept hitting roadblocks, and it just wasn't a very good pitch at all for the whole season. And that was definitely a big shock as far as not having that pitch and trying to work with my third pitch of the changeup. And then, like you said, the big league hitters, I can't do well attacking with one pitch with just the fastball. And so that led to working behind, and that's never good, especially against those hitters.
Yeah. So did you work on that a lot through the offseason? Did you purchase some big league balls?
Oh yeah, so they gave us like AAA balls to take with us, and then obviously now I'm feeling good with it. I think it was just learning my body too. I think mechanically I might have been a little early, and just working around the ball instead of down through it.
Are you a superstitious guy at all? For the past couple seasons, you said when you're hot, you're hot. So, do you eat the same food, have the same stuff like that?
Yeah, I kind of did in Biloxi. I mean, I'd wake up and hit up Dunkin' Donuts and get a coffee and like a breakfast sandwich or something, and just go to the field early. It was like 12:30, whatever it was, and I just kept that going. And then my routine on start days, like I would do the same thing, go back, play the show for a little bit, get to the field, and I would like make a PB&J and banana sandwich, and that was like my thing. I would just do it, and it kept working. So I didn't want to mess that up.
Right now, what are you missing the most about your minor league, or for you, it would hopefully be the major league season? So what are you missing the most about professional baseball right now?
I think just the camaraderie with the team. Like we have a great clubhouse with the Brewers. Like up and down on the 40-man, off the 40-man. You felt like you belonged, and everyone made you feel that way. And that was the biggest thing. Just going to the field and having interactions with those people every day, and just learning, and then the challenge that every day presents. That's always awesome.
The Brewers are in, kind of that rebuild coming up state. A lot of young prospects, and then also that outfield, Kane, Braun, and Yelich. That's a killer outfield. So what is it like for you as a prospect coming up in an organization that's trying to specifically breed players for right now, get up and succeed?
Yeah, it's been great. Since I was drafted in 16, they've been really open of what they wanted to see out of me, and I think that's been a huge contribution to my growth. And everyone talks about how it's a process, and they definitely lay that process out for you, and it's very structured, and they let you be you, which has been great. Even the teammates, like obviously you're going to have teammates that want to see everyone succeed, and I think that plays a big role of who you are as a person, and just sticking to yourself and coming up through that way.
With this whole corona shutdown, everything, there's all the rumors swindling around. There's the rumor that I don't think that Trevor Plouffe came up with, or report. I don't know if it's true. The June 10th spring training report date, and then July, I want to say it was July 4th opening day. But then with that rumor, there was also the one that the MILB season was going to totally get cut, and minor league guys would be grinding, and then that the rosters would expand. What's your opinion on all the rumors, and is there one thing that you want to happen? For your situation, expanded rosters would likely mean that you're in the big leagues.
Right. The expanded roster would be huge for me. I definitely feel like I pitched myself into a really good spot in the spring. But as far as like the season start date, like we're getting as much information as we possibly can, but you just never know what's going on health wise for the country itself. And with no minor league season, that's definitely like a shock, because I mean, even being home at this point, I haven't been home this part of the year since my senior year of high school. It's just a big shock for everyone in any organization. And going back to the expanded rosters, we'll see what that is. No one really knows. No one, and it's just, I hope for the best for myself and for other guys.
In baseball in general, aside from this coronavirus, everything, what's your opinion on the game today? And if you were MLB commissioner, you had one day to make as many changes as you liked, what would you do?
Oh gosh, that's a tough question. I would say like just the latest trend of knowing guys' careers that probably should keep going on. Like once you hit arbitration, it's been a weird kind of thing with guys not really being able to find a team. That would be my biggest thing. Like put something into play that way as commissioner. But I mean, honestly, I love baseball how it is. Obviously, with any organization or business, there's going to be flaws, but just for as many flaws, there's good things going out.
What are the flaws, do you think, right now?
Ooh, hard hitting questions. Yeah, the arbitration one, and then minor league salary. I mean, that's just for me coming up all the way through. I see it firsthand, and luckily with the bonus, that's kind of taken some pressure off of me. But a lot of my buddies, a lot of teammates, they're grinding through it financially and just trying to stick with that dream that they have of making it. And I think if we could maybe fix that a tad, just to give us a more livable wage, but I don't know what the number one fix like that that to me, after going through, is the number one fix, just to help players, and because we want to be the best player we can be, and make our off seasons a little bit better training wise. That would be a big help.
Now, the MLB proposal right now is cutting down on a ton of minor league teams, cutting down on the draft and everything. So the downside to that is that a lot of more players aren't going to get professional opportunities or affiliated opportunities. But then the upside is that those guys are going to get paid more. Maybe the upper level stadiums will be a little nicer, have some upgrades. So what do you think about that proposal?
Yeah, it's really unfortunate in my eyes, just for the communities that are affected that way. I mean, I've played in a bunch of those places that are probably going to get shut down, and it's really unfortunate. You definitely, for me, I don't want to see it happen. I like obviously there's a lot of levels in the minor league system, and it's different than any other pro sport in America. But I think that's just part of playing baseball. Like, you know what it is coming in, you know what you have to do, and work your way up. But with the decline of teams, it's a head scratcher for me. I just don't really know, because there's going to be a ton of players, especially with this draft going to 5 rounds, that might not get a chance, or as big of a chance as they might deserve. And you just really never know what you're missing out on outside of 5 rounds. There's been players in the 50th round that have made a huge career, like back in the 90s or whenever they had the long drafts. So yeah, the 5 rounds and next year's draft getting affected possibly too could be an unfortunate thing.
All right, man. Thank you so much for joining me today. Best of luck to you. I hope to see you if there is an MLB season. Hope to see you. I think I will on an MLB roster.
I appreciate for having me. Thank you.